Order. I call the honourable member, Chris Ockenvold.
Mr. Speaker, thank you, Mr. Speaker. What a crescendo the last speaker ended with. What a crescendo he ended with. He didn't, however, say or conclude his little story of throwing money at the arts with a bit about reminding them there was GST included, which caused considerable stress to the recipients of the funds. But, Mr. Speaker, it's a privilege to be speaking at the third reading of the Arts Council of New Zealand Aotearoa Bill. Here we are in Wellington, the Arts Council, the Arts capital of New Zealand, a good location to be discussing the future of one of New Zealand's, as National perceives it, most important arts sponsorships organisation, the Arts Council of New Zealand. We'll talk shortly about the purpose of this bill, Mr. Speaker, but did I hear a tinge, just a sense, a touch, a pinch of envy from the other side when they speak about this bill? Jealousy? Jealousy, or perhaps they wish this was their bill that they could introduce because it's what should have been done. They will deny that, but we know, as Labour does in their hearts of hearts, that they wish this was their bill. Hence the impassioned plea, because they did get a tinge, just a touch, through the activities of their previous Prime Minister of working with the arts. And then, though, they neglected the structure. Because the purpose of this bill is to streamline the fundamental organisation, saving $200,000 per annum, making a leaner single council of 13 members, including 4 representatives with specialist knowledge of Te Kinga Māori and 2 representatives with specialist knowledge of Pacific arts. When Minister Finlayson began speaking about this, he described the previous structure as a series of tiers. And that put me in mind of the wonderful quote of Dylan Thomas when he said, "Cardiff is built like an onion, tier upon tier, and you can spell tier however you like." And I guess it was the same with the previous council structure here. With a representation of New Zealand as the guest of honour at the Frankfurt Book Fair, New Zealand experienced an international coming of age internationally, recognised for the myriad of authors, actors, musicians, as well as the living oral tradition of Māori Tonga. And to maintain such a presence over such a long period as the guest of honour was a tremendous tribute to the organisation that Mr. Finlayson oversees. So the timing for the adjustment to the Arts Council can be seen as a coming of age, a chance to recognise that the strength and functionality of the arts sector in New Zealand is another vital way of recognising New Zealand's increasing status as an emerging leader in the international arts world. And, Mr. Speaker, I'm sure every member of this House can reflect with pride on some of the achievements that have been given status lately. The technical adjustments to the funding body of what's currently known as Creative New Zealand include making a single council composed of 13 members under a single minister so that communications are clear and, just as important, timely, allowing decisions about upcoming projects to be made in plenty of time. This bill not only includes, but it actually enshrines Māori and Pacific representation, allowing the all-important self-representation of these living arts traditions. The bill removes the necessity, Mr. Speaker, of providing a strategic plan every 3 years, which absorbs so much of experts' time, so that the fine minds hired by this organisation can be used to discuss the arts, artists and their current and future projects, as opposed to the joys of being mired in renewing the debate on updating committee principles or the didactics of rewording the company philosophy. There's also a focus, Mr. Speaker, on the arts projects for youth, such as the Original Scripts Youth Company, which funded 16 to 19-year-olds in Christchurch to write a play as a reaction, a response to the earthquake, allowing young talent to get the kind of coverage that would be hard to replicate without the support of such a group as the Arts Council. Whether discussing Indian Ink Theatre Company, who wrote the popular Krishna's Dairy, the Symphony Orchestra, or the new plans for Te Papa in Auckland, it's impossible to avoid mentioning a project sponsored by the Arts Council. Mr. Speaker, by passing this bill, increasing the efficiency and ensuring the longevity of this important arts organisation, we will strengthen this leader in New Zealand international arts representation. I commend this bill to the House.
Mr. Speaker.
I call the honourable member